Welcome to GARcast, home of all manly media.
Hello and welcome to GARcast. We have a little tiny episode today. It's just two of us, and it's the two resident old lads of the podcast. That's Boris.
Yo.
And me, Elena, as our two other lovely friends and co-hosts. Ali and Tom couldn't be here, so it's just us, ranting and raving, being old, looking at things.
We need to have some content, and we looked at what do we have in common, and it's age. So I have my bottle of water, and I'm ready to complain.
There we are, just yelling and pointing our walking sticks at the youth in the garden, mucking up the floor again, and all the grass and the flowers. My idea was, as we have been around for a little bit longer, what are our thoughts on basically the media, the world, the internet, and everything that has changed as we talk about films and anime and everything? Because I sort of was confronted with my past again, because I recently moved out, like properly moved out with everything. Basically dissolved my childhood room as well and took everything with me, and found many a thing. For example, all of my old VHS tapes of like anime I recorded. And I'd probably have to dig through all of those again, because I think there's some lovely stuff on there. Because I just recorded like whole blocks, for example, of just whatever anime was running on that day, which was probably a combination of Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, and Detective Conan.
Do you have a VHS player still?
My parents have some at home. My mom has one. I think I'm going to discreetly borrow that one, because I tried to buy myself a new one, but they're expensive. I didn't expect that. It's like you can't get one like under 150 euros. It's like, oh.
That's wild.
Yes, madness, mayhem. Yeah, so I'm probably just borrowing that one, and was trying to look into digitalizing it maybe, because they just take up a huge amount of space, and also carrying them was quite heavy, I have to say. So
discs sure are convenient.
That is true. There's a light step over there. Yeah, but I want to look at them again, because there's also like commercials on there, like the whole block and everything. I think this is going to be like a nice nostalgia trip to have like the complete experience of just having the TV on.
Can you still sing the Pokemon ending song and opening songs in German?
Ending song. Oh yeah.
You know the one where they list off all Pokemons and it's just names? Pokemon rap.
Oh yeah, the Poke Rap was the ending, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one by heart. I think the OP everyone knows, but...
Yeah. We're not gonna start singing now, though.
Oh no. We're going to get hit with that cease and desist. Nintendo is coming after us.
Only if we're super accurate.
Oh yeah, that's true. We have to activate the bots.
It's all people need to know, and I'm sure a lot of people do know, thanks to Naruto, is that anime in Germany had, German openings.
Bit of a problem.
It was good sometimes, and it was not good other times.
Yeah, I definitely want to like make a list or ranking one day, because there are good ones and also ones that are just absolutely terrible, like the infamous German Naruto opening.
Oh boy.
But for example, the ones I loved were, for example, the Sailor Moon opening, which is like the most 90s rave party you could ever have. It's the best thing ever.
It's an odd one, because they really just put like a techno song in there. But...
yeah.
Kind of works out. Dragon Ball had the same thing, and I think Mega Man as well.
That's true. I think later they did covers for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, for Dragon Ball Z, they just covered the Japanese ones, but for original Dragon Ball, they just had another techno song.
Oh, yeah. True. I remember that one. Oh, yeah. That's a blast from the past, that one. Oh, boy. I remember there was like a little drawing of a helicopter that was flying around in the OP, and I don't know why.
A lot of
Look this
questions.
up. Madness. Yeah, the One Piece one I love, because if you do a series about pirates, you just have to include a harpsichord. Like, put all the harpsichords in there. Like, harpsichords are the best instruments you can have. Best thing ever. I think then later they just did cover songs of it, or just didn't even translate it anymore. I think after the Naruto debacle, if I remember correctly, they just did the Japanese OPs with, karaoke subtitles on TV, like running on there, and just like, it's good enough.
It seems to be a bit of a mixed bag, because I remember specifically later on when I started watching late night MTV, when they would show like more, I guess, adult anime.
Oh yeah.
They had Escaflowne was one where they just put in a French house song as the opening.
Oh, okay. Well, why not?
Which is a cool song and all, but like, I don't know why. But then they had Cowboy Bebop as well, which just had the original opening, I guess.
Which is right, yeah.
Yeah, because that works. Lupin was there, but Lupin's like repeating the word Lupin in the openings.
Yeah, it's just Lupin the third. Woo. Yeah, there was something funny about that, because I looked this up, and I looked at the OP and thought, this doesn't look like any of the TV series. Like, what is this? And then found somewhere hidden in some Wikipedia article that the, in brackets, German Lupin TV series was in fact like 4 specials they split up into TV-sized bits. So they just split 4 films into TV series, and which of course just makes a mad broadcasting schedule, because you can't just cut up movies and broadcast them as episodes, which was why Lupin in Germany wasn't that popular. Who would have thought that this didn't work?
There's so much Lupin around though, like, did they really have to do that?
Yeah. You could have just took the whole film and threw it on there. You didn't have to, like, make little slices of it.
Also, part 2 or something has, like, 1 billion episodes, and you couldn't gotten any of those, but sure.
It fits. Oh yeah, there's one thing I wanted to point out. I think... Do you remember the first German Inuyasha opening?
I never got into Inuyasha, so no.
Yeah, me neither. It wasn't absolutely my thing, but I think the reason I don't like Inuyasha, or didn't like it even then when I was a little kiddo, is because the OP was so rad, and I always expected it to be like a heavy, cool action show, and every time I turned in, it was just people yelling at each other, like 2 people being tsunderes, and I was like, where's the action? like little Elena being very upset that there weren't any fights. So yeah, I blame the very cool German OP for me not getting into Inuyasha.
I'll have to look that one up. Did you ever watch Shin-chan on German television?
I think it ran too early. I remember something. It was like 12:40 or something. I was still in school. But I remember the OP, which was by a German casting band, some pop band, like Process or something.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I think so. It was definitely an original song by some pop band that was casted, I think.
Well, the thing I remember about the show is that they kind of went in the same footsteps as the American English dub version, where they just changed all the dialogue to be a bit raunchier and have jokes in there for adults and stuff.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
So that's always skewed my views on Shin-chan a little bit, I guess. But it was pretty funny back in the day when I was 12. So I don't know.
Yeah, I remember that it was always like very raunchy humor on there. I don't know, is that not so in the Japanese original?
I think the Japanese one is more like just a kids-oriented show
Oh, okay.
for like
Oh.
young children. I mean, you do have him pulling his stick out every now and then, but that's just
Yes.
funny in Japan.
That's how it just be on this world. I mean, Dragon Ball also had that in the beginning, so.
Yeah. Oh boy, watching anime on television sure was a different one.
Yeah, it was. Like it's this is also like a thing, like availability, because the internet wasn't very much a thing back then. Sex like
No.
240p crispy video. So basically, it was what ran on television you saw.
And good thing we had one television station that would dedicate themselves to showing some anime, I guess, at least the popular ones.
Yeah, this, for example, the MTV ones you mentioned, I knew that there was running, I think, Hellsing, Wolf's Rain, and a few others.
There was Bebop, definitely, and Gantz, and some
Gantz too.
Ghost in the Shell occasionally. There was some stuff. But it was all
Okay, because I don't
super
know
late
that.
night, like around midnight.
Yeah. Either it was too late or I never got into it, but I never watched MTV anime, sadly. It was all like RTL2, which was back then like the mainstream one.
Yeah. You gotta be up for those 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z at night. You gotta talk about it in school the next day.
Yeah.
I remember being one of the few kids in my class who even had internet at home and just hanging out on websites all day.
Oh, snap.
Reading like arcs about arcs in DBZ that would only be translated on German television like 2 years from that point or something.
Oh, hell, yeah. Basically the information dealer of your class.
Something like that. Sure was getting hyped for that Super Saiyan for a long time.
Oh, hell, yeah. Because I remember something similar. I became the local One Piece manga dealer of my class. Because the anime was still somewhere around the beginning of Skypiea. And but the manga already was at the end of Skypiea, beginning of Water 7. So I already knew what was happening, and I could say that in class, like, hey, I already know what happens. Like, oh, how do you know that? And I'm reading the manga, of course. And then suddenly everyone wanted to borrow it, and I was the library, the private one. And I kept book on who was borrowing what and who was getting what. And yeah, it was a good time.
Should have charged money to buy more One Piece mangas.
Damn, I should have charged money. I didn't charge money. I was just borrowing manga for everyone to read. But I got all of them back. That is true. At least something. Like nobody stole anything.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I had my little like the little book where you write in what homework you have, like that one. Had like a page in the back where you with pencil wrote in like who has what, so I can retrieve it the next day. Like I take care of my manga, and if I want it back, you're gonna give it me back.
Oh man, there was something similar like that for me as well, where me and a friend bought Dragon Ball volumes, and it was like volume 40 and volume 42, which is already weird there because there's like one missing in the middle, but that's what the store had. And then we opened those up, and it turns out that volume 42 is like the end of Dragon Ball Z. And the TV anime was nowhere near that, and was just like, what the fuck is this? What is going on?
Madness.
There was a strong dissonance there.
Now that you mention it, that happened to me too, with Death Note, because I saw like a few standing around the store volumes, and I picked one up, which was 12, I think the last one, and I just had this feeling of like long running series, like, oh, okay, if I pick up 12, it's going to be like in the middle. I'm just going to check this out, and just read the ending in the store, and I was like, oh, oops, is that the ending? Oh, oops. But I still like got the series, but it was still never pick up a manga just like that to read. Maybe start at the beginning. This is my my hot tip for the day.
It was a thing to get used to when you were coming off of like Disney comics and whatnot, where it's all just like singular issues having completely episodic stories, and then realizing that you can't do the same thing with manga.
Mm-hmm.
Just pick up any of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, like Donald Duck comics, the one that are called Lustiges Taschenbuch, like funny pocket books. They went up to like number 300, 400. I think we are at, I don't know, 700, 800 right now. And you could just pick up any one of those, and they would have like 3 or 4 stories in them. It had like a manga shape, like thick like that, same size. So yeah, it was, no, you should start at number 1, actually.
It was a learning experience back before the information age.
Back in the dark ages. When we knew only what the store had and nothing else.
Only what the store had and what TV stations had. And you better not miss any episodes. You better not go on vacation in summer and come back and there's a new anime on TV and you don't understand anything. There was no fancy streaming service like there is now.
Nuh-uh. It was all linear television. Just, you miss it, you're out. Forget it.
Did have some unique quirks though, like, for example, that the German dub of Sailor Moon is apparently a lot more accurate and not censored like the American one is.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Stuff like that. And all of me and my friends fondly remembering the dub of Dragon Ball Z back in the day when actors would just fucking scream. And I don't know if that's nostalgia. I never went back and rewatched any of those episodes. But
it's just a lot of people screaming in the studio.
That's what you need for Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, that is true. Oh yeah, if you listen to the first Dragon Ball Z OP, which is a cover of a Jam Project song, You Will Be Invincible, Du wirst unbesiegbar sein. The voice of the singer cracks at one point. I love it. He's just giving it his all. It's just like right in the middle. It's like, no, it's beautiful. You can really feel the passion in there.
Very fitting for this series at hand.
Absolutely. I mean, screaming slice of life. I think we found a niche we need it.
And then eventually, I guess, we transitioned into the internet becoming more and more common in households and finding out about torrents. And then we had fan subs because there was no official subs for anything.
Yes, I never had like any torrents aside. I was the person who watched anime on YouTube in 3 parts.
Yeah, that was a thing too. YouTube just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, it's just like, what is upload? Just throw everything on there. It's okay. But there was the like 10-minute limit. So every episode, which is always about like, I don't know, 25 minutes, had to be split up into 3 parts. So you would see like, I don't know, Naruto episode 1 out of 3. And you click it. And then you watch 10 minutes and then comes the next video. It's like Naruto episode 1, 2 of 3. And so you click yourself in little steps through your anime series that you want to watch.
Yeah, remember when YouTube had time limits? That was wild.
I remember the days.
That's how I watched all of Gurren Lagann.
You watched it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Nice.
Split into 3 parts as usual.
Fantastic. It's probably like breaking up the hype as well, or not.
I don't know. It was constant breaks anywhere due to buffering and whatnot. So.
Oh yeah. What was the highest quality back then? Like 360p?
Yep.
Nice.
Sure, wouldn't want to go back to that.
Nah. It is, if you actually go back, I did that, for example, with a few like Newgrounds animations that I loved.
Oh
Because I
boy,
was also
Newgrounds.
Yeah.
That was an
Looking
entire
at-
phase as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I looked at some like older animations or something, and it was like, oh wow, was the quality always this bad? Like it's not that bad in my memory, but I think just all of our standards got higher.
That's a sweet like haze of nostalgia.
Yes, rose tinted glasses on everything.
I remember spending hours on Newgrounds playing free games.
Yeah.
Like that were like 10 minutes long or whatever. Because they were made by one person. It was just some stick figure doing some shit. Stickman RPG or whatever it was called. That was the shit.
Yeah. But there were some really good ones as well. Like for every, I don't know, like 5 or 6 shovel ones, you would have like one specific one. It's something that I even like fondly remember. There's one that I still want to play and want to finish. It's called Figure 8, where you just drive a little drawing bicycle through like a plan that was laid out on a table. And it has like a lovely like jazz French cafe soundtrack. And you think, oh, that's lovely. I'm drawing with my little bicycle through a plan. And I never finished it because it's too hard.
Newgrounds is still around even.
Oh
That's
yeah, they're still doing stuff.
Always fascinating to me. I think they recently started taking donations or whatever it was. So they're probably doing alright, I guess. I don't know.
They're still around. It's like, and also still active, which I find nice. Like still people still contribute. There was like, for example,
I know that they got for when Tumblr went apeshit and then a lot of people migrated over to Newgrounds. That was a thing.
Really?
Recently, yeah. When it was that entire Tumblr is banning nudity or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then just like a bunch of people just heading over to Newgrounds, I guess.
Oh, okay. I saw so many like coming to Twitter as well.
Yeah, that too.
That too.
That's how we ended up with Warrior Mail on Twitter.
Yeah. and he's just precious every day.
What a good mail.
The best one. And he's all our dad.
That's what he said.
He's like, if you want me to be your dad, I'll be your dad. And you can write him, and then he says, yes, I'm your dad too.
Sure hope people know what the fuck we're talking about.
There's a lovely account called Warrior Mail, who is just the most spirit of Gar you can probably imagine. Like, wholesome muscle lad, and posts a lot of very aspirational muscle pictures every day. And you can also write him. Yeah, every day. He doesn't slack on that, every day. And you can write him, and he's very lovely and writes you back and supports you like the most manliest cheerleader you could ever imagine in your life.
He's very, very fascinated with fighting and training.
Yeah,
and posting
that is the spirit.
Pictures of fighting and training, and every now and then he'll slip up and accidentally post a picture from like a gay porno, and think it's because he thinks it's like naked wrestling or whatever. But that's okay. He's
That's okay.
He's just doing what he loves.
I think, what was it? I think it was like a fate lewd or something of two very muscly naked men wrestling, and he said, "Yeah, masculinity, fighting, training." And there's people in the comments pointing like, "Warrior Male, that's not. They're not fighting. It's not fighting." It's like, it's okay. Everything's fine. Like how can you not love the guy? He's amazing. How did we get here? We get from Newgrounds, exactly.
Yeah, from Newgrounds. Old internet culture.
Old internet culture. Still, yeah, what I want to say, Newgrounds are still doing stuff. For example, there was like a Smash Brothers collaboration not too long ago. That was lovely. It was like a ton of also well-known animators. Everyone just doing a little short on Smash Brothers. And if you play it on Newgrounds, you get like a Smash Brothers menu where you can put like your little character on an animator, and then it says like character select and stuff, which is like a lot more interactive than just, I don't know, watching the anthology on YouTube. So yeah, they're still doing stuff, which is lovely.
Are you telling me Newgrounds is in Smash?
Yeah, they in Smash now.
That's wild. And I know the guys from like from Sleepy Cabin. They're making a game still, which looks really cool. God, I wish I could remember what it's called. Let me see. Give me time while I try to find it.
What was the guys who also did like Super Meat Boy and Alien Hominid and stuff that also like debuted on Newgrounds?
Yeah, Castle Crashers and Alien Hominid was the same studio, I think, and Super Meat Boy might be from there, probably. I'm not sure. It seems like a kind of thing that it would be.
So yeah, this is like we're like the Wild West days of the internet. It's like where you could upload anything and anything was possible, and yeah, also like lovely little projects that happened.
The internet was a lawless and very slow place to be.
I love the image of just like a Western but in slow motion. A lawless good place. I think I'm trying to remember what were the first anime that I watched on the internet, where sort of was the first step into like from TV to like making your own program. I think one of the first ones was also, I think, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Right,
but I saw that when I was like 16 or something, which was, I think, a little bit too early, and you probably should rewatch that.
I think Neon Genesis Evangelion even had like some type of, maybe it aired on German television somewhere, because I remember seeing it a lot on like forums, but maybe that was like the early phase of people starting to torrent shit. I'm not sure. People had
I definitely knew that I saw the German dub of it, so there must be some release somewhere.
Yeah, people had it in their forum signatures a lot.
Oh yeah, that is true.
If that's a thing people still do. I don't know.
Forum signatures, yeah, you occasionally see them around. It's still a little nostalgic place in your heart. A person can just write one sentence and just has like 6 centimeters of text below it. I'm thinking I was never too active on forums and such.
I was on some, but I wouldn't be able to. I was a big German one dedicated to video games. Used to go there a lot. Was nice. Probably cringy as shit, but it's all.
We're all young ones.
It's all displaced from my mind now.
That feeling, if you as sort of a mature adult person can look back at the stuff you did as a teenager and you just shrivel up and die inside. It's a good feeling.
Then you did everything right.
Yes, it just has to be like that. Like, life is a growing process, you know. We all get older. And you can even look back at stuff you did like 2 years ago and you think, oh God, why? And it just gets worse.
It doesn't even have to be that long ago.
Yeah.
I don't even like the person I was like 4 years ago. Oh, here it is. The game's called Nightmare Cops.
That rings a bell, yeah.
There was some furious Googling of me there. It looks neat. It had a trailer like I think half a year ago, and it's all like hand animated little sprites, and it's looking very nice.
Oh yeah, that looks lovely. Yeah, cool.
Like voiced cutscenes and whatnot, but it's probably gonna take forever to come out since it's all hand animated. But if you want a taste of that old Newgrounds shit, but at a much higher quality, that's it.
Then it's that. Yeah, especially like the internet animators. There were some really dedicated ones, and they're still around. Like Egoraptor Aaron Hansen's doing well. Like Happy Harry, who I absolutely love, is also doing well. The Starbarians, which is like the most 80s Gar you could ever imagine.
Yeah. Dr. Bees, I remember that one.
Yeah, Dr. B is good. Yeah, so they still come from that Wild West time. It's lovely to still see them around.
Respect your animators. They're putting in a shit ton of work for almost nothing in exchange.
The poor lads.
How do you think that the entire introduction of like social media and whatnot changed being in the anime community?
I think it probably like amplified seasonals a lot. Like I think there's like a whole seasonal culture where you just feel like you're part of the community, which you're all watching things at the same time.
Yeah,
So
you gotta keep up with your shit too.
oh yeah, you cannot slack on that. That's why I also like mostly quit watching seasonals because it's too much stress, man. Just let me binge my old stuff that I should have seen like 6 years ago and watch that now. But it has like its positives as well. It's like very nice if you have like something where everybody comes together, which I had like for example with the Tonigawa anime. I got like learned a lot of new friends and new mutuals through that. That was lovely, definitely. We're just because it's such a niche little show, you find people easier. And I found a lot of new friends there. It's lovely.
I mean, that's how we got to this podcast, right?
That's also true how we got to this podcast, yeah. Born from, I don't want to say the hell site, but from definitely the Twitter, where we found each other.
Twitter is a mixed bag.
Yeah. Definitely go do a muted word list, like for your own health and safety. Just don't be too stingy on blocks or muted words or stuff you don't genuinely want to see, just to make sure you stay sane.
Yeah, be a lot more trigger happy with muting and blocking. That's kind of helped a lot.
Yeah.
Making it a little bit less of a health site. And boy, there's a lot of discourse.
Yeah.
You know, feels like there's some new shit every other day. In the
Absolutely.
anime community as well, but thankfully there's some disconnect now for me.
Yeah, I think if you just clean up your timeline after time on time, it just gets a lot calmer. You think, oh, I've muted all of these topics. Look at them not appearing in my life. Ah, nice.
Really slow steps are being taken for me getting back into watching anime, but maybe I'll be in there again soon. At least I'm watching JoJo now.
Oh yeah, also I have to get back into that. I think I'm only like episode 19 of part 5 or so. I think I have to catch like 4 or 5 episodes behind or something.
It's like one of my real life friends started to catch up with JoJo, and he's like not on the internet or in anime communities and all, and when he starts watching it and I start falling behind, I'm like, okay, I gotta get back on the ship now.
Immediately.
Because it's getting critical. The normies are faster than me, and I'm part of an anime podcast.
God damn it, man. Pull yourself together, have some pride. You still have to actually drop kick me in the face for not having read Berserk yet and still also not having finished Fist of the North Star.
There's a lot of classics missing.
Yes, but I'm working on it. So yeah, your question on social media and stuff. I think it also helped to like spread anime as form of medium a lot more. I think in general, I think more people watch anime now, and it's seeping into the mainstream, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we have legal anime options on the internet probably speaks to the fact that it's much bigger and growing ever larger.
Absolutely. Like if I compare that to what we had in like DVDs only, if you're not lucky enough that they're not out of print, then we definitely have a lot more like legal options nowadays,
Hell
which
yeah,
is
we do.
good.
Yeah. It's like there was a handful of stuff back in the day. That was it. And then you transitioned into the internet and went to YouTube. But you really had no guidelines on what to watch or where, and it was the Wild West, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just saw a series that somebody mentioned somewhere, and then you look it up, and maybe you find the first episode somewhere. It was definitely that you had to venture out more to get your own information.
Larger influx of anime being available and watching more of it at once also is probably what led to me starting to look at it more critically and like think about what I'm watching. And I don't know, maybe that's some days I think it's not a good thing. It probably is in the end, but you know, maybe it's just the age and getting better and starting to
I think it's also like a refinement of one's own taste, I think. That you sort of know yourself a lot better. That you know, okay, I'm going to like this one and I can probably skip this one after only even seeing not even one episode and think, okay, no, this is not for me. That you sort of become more picky because also I just have a lot less time now. I just can't watch 5 series at once. I just have to pick one, maybe 2, and then I watch those and be very happy and chuffed about it.
Being an adult sucks ass.
Yeah. Who asked for adult life?
I don't want to think about shit. I just want to inject some Japanese cartoons straight into my brain lobe and watch the endorphins stream out and not think about anything.
Absolutely. To become your own isekai.
Those were the days.
My friend.
I'm almost scared to think about the future and what it's gonna bring. Is media consumption gonna escalate even further at an accelerated rate? I don't know.
I don't know. There are like people who watch like anime at double speed or something because they say, I want to get through this. Like, it doesn't have to get this far, you know. I think you should be able to watch things at the speed that they should, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But if I look at the future, I would think the future looks actually pretty neat. Because we have streaming services now, and for example with Netflix and stuff, where we have anime that is produced for the internet, they don't have to follow like TV guidelines, like rigid schedules and ratings. And for example, this is how we got like Devilman Crybaby. This would never run on TV, but if you produce it for Netflix, you can basically get back this freedom that we also had with like the 80s hyper-violent OVAs, which went straight to VHS and also didn't went on TV. So I think like having something that is produced for the internet like gives a lot more freedom.
ONAs are definitely a really cool concept, and I hope a lot more studios lean into it. And maybe it also is a good thing for, you know, the staff that works on anime and doesn't have to conform to having an episode ready every week for months. Maybe those conditions could improve a little bit if you can just upload something whenever.
Yeah, that is true. Like, for example, the of course that ran on TV, but no wait, did Baki run on TV? Yeah.
The current one?
The current? No, it's also an ONA, isn't it? The new Baki.
Yeah, that was the previous one, the old series. It was on some TV stations here, but certainly not back in the time when it was produced. It was like a huge delay between that. And now this one is just a Netflix co-production or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because the new Baki one is also like, holy heck, that's violent, but goddamn, it's fun. And I still have to continue this one. So I hope we're getting more of that. Like that's something that I actually really look forward to, like in the future. And we had like a few announcements, I think, that also came out recently. Like I think like No Guns Life from Madhouse and other ones.
Is that a streaming thing as well?
Not sure, but there were a few. Oh wait, the new Ghost in the Shell that's supposed to come out is a Netflix one.
Oh, okay.
That is something.
I'm still waiting on like more studios trying out the thing that David Production did when they made the Planetarian anime like 2 or 3 years ago, where it was like 5 episodes. Every episode is completely different lengths, from anywhere from like 5 to 18 minutes or whatever. Whatever it needs to be at the time to tell the story chapter that it wants to tell. It needs to be more of a thing, I guess. Don't need sticking too closely to that. It needs to be exactly 25 minutes. Needs to be exactly 12 or 24 episodes. Is definitely a thing that's holding back anime still. If I do say so. So maybe work on that in the future, and maybe don't work on just producing more and more anime until no one can keep up with it anymore, and it's saturation and the market collapses and blah 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 blah.
And everything goes kaput. I think the anime seasons that are already quite full.
Yep.
I mean, how many are we getting? Like we can probably look this up for 1 second.
Is it like 50 or 60 per season or some crap?
Yeah. And you think like, oh boy.
I can watch I can do 2.
Only 2, 1, 2, not more. Yeah, but there's definitely like, I think this is where you have to just get picky, because you just look at things and then you have to like weed out the things you know you're not going to like. I think forcing yourself through things you won't like is never a good thing. And there's also a lot of lost time you can just never retrieve.
And that is how you end up back at the starting point, where you only watch a select few anime, just like back on television. and time is a circular donut, and history repeats itself.
It all goes tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. And the next season looks really good in like selected few. Like we have Promare, the trigger one. We have Fujikumi no Koike. We have the new...
The trigger one is a movie that's not going to be around for like another half year or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. That's still... Yeah, that's true. It's like one of the things that is holding back like cinema releases. Like it's of course it debuts in Japan first, but the problem is like how do you watch it in other countries?
You just have to wait for the Blu-ray release.
You just have to wait for the Blu-ray release or some anime festival picking it up like 7 months later.
There you go. That's another thing we could improve. Just put movie releases on streaming services as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If they're not the type to be like big enough to get actual like cinema stuff, like I don't know, the recent Broly movie for Dragon Ball Super. Even our little city had like one screening of that, and me and my friends went. So, but I guess that's Dragon Ball. That's like you have to be actually the biggest fucking anime around to get something like that.
Yeah, that was in my local cinema as well. There we have like anime nights where I think every month there runs exactly one anime film for one night.
Yep.
Woo! Selection. And if you missed it, it's no rerun. And I went to a few because I was interested in them. I knew the two, what were they called? Night is Short, Walk On Girl, and what's the other one? Masaki Uesa, the one with the mermaid.
Oh yeah, it was like 2 movies he released in close proximity, right?
Yeah, exactly. Those ran in like 2 months after each other, and I went to both of them, and I was like, for one, I was the only person in the cinema. Like, one person, it's me. It's like private screening just for me. Woo!
Nice.
That was a good experience. yeah, then I thought like, oh, okay, next month is Dragon Ball. Super. And I'm going to watch it. And I just 1 week earlier I thought, yeah, maybe I should get myself a ticket. They had suddenly 3 screenings. So like, hey, wait, isn't it just one normally? And all 3 sold out. It's like, oh, I guess it's not a private screening for me anymore. Oops. I had grossly underestimated Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I was like mostly in Dragon Ball screening like dudes like us who were like in their late 20s and watched it back in the day.
And then get the good old nostalgia back.
I'm looking up the list of ONAs for the spring 2019 season, and it's like there's Ultraman, which is gonna be on Netflix, and then there's like a foot fetishist anime.
Oh yeah, the thighs one.
Yeah,
that looks like definitely yes, totally.
That's
Can't watch all of it.
Thing, like even just the image.
Yeah. Put it on screen.
Oh boy. Yeah, the future is an exciting time.
Woo. Is the Dumbbells anime already?
I don't know. I don't know when that is.
Okay, because there's hopefully going to be a good time, because I read the manga, which is by the mangaka of Kengan Ashura. And holy heck, that's actually like a proper guide to working out and everything. It's like, hey, why not?
That would be great. Do some lifting. Oh, that's in summer. July. Okay,
so this is a little bit more time.
You should already have your beach body by then.
Hopefully. I'm gonna get to that.
They're airing it too late. It should have been in winter and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. Oh hell, Star Muse Season 3 is coming out. I haven't seen Season 2. If anybody asks what this is like Male Idol Academy. And it's the best idol show ever. I'm telling it now. Because it actually...
That can't be that high of a bar.
Because it actually treats idol shows, the idol, what it is. It's like, hey, you're in a casting band now. You don't get to choose your friends. These are your new friends now. And you train every day. And also you get your songs written for you. You're not writing them yourself, you know. It feels like, hey, this is, I think, what idols is like. It's like a hard industry. So yeah, I definitely like that one. And also has like a ton of Utena references, and is also a musical, which means that anybody can break out into song at any time, complete with a performance. So it's the best thing ever, actually. Just that the animation and the character designs are not as good as they should be, but it definitely has a heart. So I think I'm gonna watch Season 2 soon-ish, I hope. If I'm not stuck in Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
I think that's we kind of accidentally went in a pretty good like flow there, where we went to the past and present and future,
and everything in between.
And that's we could probably end this right here.
Yeah. So we went from we have to watch on television because there's nothing else to do, to hey, we can pick and choose actually, and that is a good thing.
And to the future, where hopefully the medium becomes more flexible, but it's
and animators are not underpaid.
Yeah, hopefully.
The poor lads.
Go support Newgrounds, kids, and anime studios any way you can, I guess.
Yeah, always support your artists, commission them, and make them happy. Yeah, I think that was the little time warp that we did today.
It's 50 minutes. That's a good amount of content.
Nice.
It's a thick mini episode.
A thick one with 2 C's, please. Thick. So a thick little episode for all of you. Yeah, of course, we can probably add this. You can always visit us on our Discord. The link is in the description, where we are pretty much every day posting pictures of animals, mechas, and also a lot of other good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, then thank you very much for having been with us. And yeah, so this was the GARcast in like its half old form. It has got tied into old mecha. So that was Boris.
Yo, bye.
And me, Elena. So we say goodbye and have a good time, everyone.